And we start with a day that forever changed our community. This week marks 1 year since Hurricane Helene ripped through western North Carolina. The storm taking more than 100 lives in the Tar Heel state and causing more than $50 billion in damage. Our week-long coverage of the storm's impact and the process to rebuild begins tonight with WCNC Charlotte anchor Colin Mayfield. He joins us from Boone, one of the areas that took a beating from the storm.
Yes, Vanessa, we are here in Boone, and many of our colleagues will be across western North Carolina for the next week. Obviously, a year ago, it was quiet and calm before Hurricane Helene swept through. We saw the images and the perspectives of that rushing water rushing down King Street here in Boone. So we want to highlight, obviously, the work that's been done and the work that is still needed, not just here in Boone, but across western North Carolina. Many of our colleagues at WCNC Charlotte will be here throughout the week. So tonight, we begin our coverage. So shifting gears to our coverage, a lot of the communities here in western North Carolina, they've been looking for the funds from the federal government, asking where's the money. In fact, Governor Josh Stein formed Grow and See, an office that oversees the disbursement of those funds. WCNC Charlotte's Julie Kay has more, speaks to the director on what they're doing and what's still needed.
This office doesn't distribute funds, but it does watch how they're spent. Now, critics say relief is taking too long to reach communities, but the director of Grow NC tells me that that's red tape and a lack of funding overall. One of Governor Josh Stein's first acts in office, creating a new office dedicated to Hurricane Helene recovery oversight.
Unfortunately, recovery is not cheap.
Since it was created 9 months ago, Director Matt Calabria has managed $2.9 billion in state funds and $1.8 billion in federal funds. But it's still not enough.
We feel folks' frustration and are in fact frustrated ourselves a lot of times when we see how slow federal programs are to be brought to bear or how slow federal funding can come down.
The state estimates full recovery for western North Carolina would cost $60 billion. The state's yearly budget is typically closer to $30. State Republicans have criticized the slow distribution of relief from the beginning.
I'm concerned that this is great, but it's not doing anything.
To improve transparency, Grow NC launched a dashboard showing how funds are spent, but it also shows how much has been held up at the federal level, including $3.4 billion that has been announced but not officially sent. Regardless, Calabria says this does not match up to federal assistance from prior disasters.
In comparison to other storms that are comparable to Hurricane Helene, we are not seeing the overall level of funding from the federal government that we would like to see or that is even common.
That's why their efforts now are focused on transparency and advocacy for more help. In Raleigh, Julie Kay, WCNC Charlotte.
So to reiterate, our coverage here again starting from Boone tonight, but many of our colleagues will be spread out across western North Carolina, creating awareness on all of the work that still needs to be done. Again, Vanessa, many of these communities have just been relying on philanthropic efforts over the last year. We'll be here in Boone for you, but tonight reporting, I'm Colin Mayfield for WCNC Charlotte. We'll send it back to you.
Colin, thank you for that report. And of course, as Colin mentioned, live all week from western North Carolina. So many of us will be going up to the high country in the coming days, sharing stories of survivors, checking on the progress made, and showing you what still needs to be done. You can watch throughout the week right here on WCNC Charlotte and on WCNC Plus streaming.